Sometimes we think we have to handle everything on our own, that asking for help is a sign of weakness. But have you ever thought that this stubbornness could actually be the biggest roadblock to your dreams? Today's story is about a young man named David who tried to do everything alone to achieve his dreams. But along the way, he realized his limits. And more importantly, he learned that asking for help doesn't mean you failed. In fact, it's part of the journey to success. If you're curious, stick around till the end of the story. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and rocky roads, lived a young man named David. Most people in the village were farmers. Life there was peaceful but full of challenges. David, 23 years old, worked as a carpenter. He had learned the craft from his late father. He owned a small shop in the village, but the roof was falling apart. Every day, David worked alone, building chairs, fixing old tables, and dealing with customers who always tried to bargain down his prices. After all the effort, he barely made enough to buy bread, soup, and firewood for the winter. But David wasn't satisfied with just getting by. In his free time, he'd sit by his small window and look out at the distant hills, dreaming. "I'll have a big furniture store of my own. People will come from far away just to buy my furniture." Reality, though, was tough. Every time he tried to save money, some unexpected expense would show up. A leak in the roof, a broken tool, or a medical bill for his sick mom. Some villagers laughed at his dreams. One farmer even said, "David, you can't even afford good wood, and you're dreaming of a big store?" Those words cut deep, but David never gave up on his dream. One day, an elderly man named Mr. Aziz visited David's shop. He was a traveling merchant known for his wisdom. He asked David to build a large dining table and gave him a week to do it. It was the biggest job David had ever gotten, and the pay was good too. But halfway through, trouble started. On the third day, David ran out of wood. He went to the local wood supplier, but due to winter demand, the prices had doubled. He could only afford half the wood he needed. David thought, "I can't ask Mr. Aziz for more money." He tried borrowing money from a guy named Wed, but Wed just laughed and turned him down. David wondered, should I just sell my shop? Is chasing this dream just foolish? That night, he sat on an old bench, staring at the little money left on his table, wondering if he was being greedy. Then, he remembered his mother's words. "David, every big thing starts with a small step. Don't be afraid to start, no matter how hard it gets." The next day, with new motivation, David went to the city. He brought along a few small pieces of furniture, some folding chairs he made to try selling them. It was a risky move. If he didn't sell them, he wouldn't even have enough money to get back home. He set up a tiny stall in a busy corner of the city market. At first, no one paid attention, but around noon, a wealthy lady came by and was impressed with his work. She ended up buying all the chairs. With that money, David bought the wood he needed and went back to the village. He finished the table right on time. Mr. Aziz was thrilled. "You're a talented young man," he said. "Never give up on your dream." But that wasn't the end of the challenges. A few weeks later, word spread about David's craftsmanship. Orders started pouring in from nearby towns and villages. Then came a huge opportunity. A businessman from the city placed an order for 10 dining tables to be delivered in just 1 month. In return, he offered a large payment. It was a big break, but also a huge challenge. Tight deadlines, high-quality wood, no extra workers, and a tiny workshop. It seemed nearly impossible. Still, David said yes. That night, he sat down to make a plan. If he worked nonstop from morning till night, it might just be doable. but he didn't have enough money for the wood. In the end, David decided to sell the last memory of his father, a gold watch. It had deep sentimental value. As he stood in the jewelry shop selling it, tears welled up in his eyes. But he knew it was just one more step, and sometimes you have to take risks to achieve something big. With the money, he bought the best wood and worked day and night. He often skipped meals and barely slept. His hands were cracked, his head ached, but he didn't stop. Villagers said, "David, take a break, you'll get sick." But he didn't listen. In the final week, one of the tables kept breaking because of a flaw in the wood. That's when his mom walked into the shop and saw David sitting with his head down. She said softly, "Son, take a rest. Life isn't just about chasing dreams. You have to take care of yourself too." Through tears, David replied, "I just want to prove that I can do this. Don't worry, Mom. We're going to come out of this poverty soon." She placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You've already proven a lot. Your hard work, your patience. But remember, if your health breaks down, all this success will mean nothing." David sat in silence. Then he said quietly, "You're right, Mom, but I have to finish this job. If I do, it'll bring me so much closer to my dream. People will recognize me, and I'll earn a great reputation." She smiled and said, "I know how much your dream means to you, but let me tell you something. If you try to carry all the weight alone, you'll wear yourself out. Life isn't meant to be lived alone. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's smart. If you just ask your friends or neighbors for a little help, they won't say no. In fact, they'll be proud to stand by you." Those words hit David deep. The next day, for the first time, David asked the villagers for help, and they all came forward. Together, they finished the work. The rich businessman was extremely happy and paid him just like he promised. With that money, he expanded his shop, bought new tools, and even hired a few young men from the village to work with him. But the biggest thing he gained was the lesson that achieving your dream takes more than just hard work. Sometimes it takes asking for help, and that's how you find balance in life. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comments. If you want to hear more inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to bring you the most compelling insights from the stories and research that truly matter.
Great to be here.
You know, we all kind of carry this belief, don't we? This idea that real strength means handling everything yourself.
Shouldering every burden?
Exactly, like it's a badge of honor. But what if that stubbornness, that refusal to ask for help? What if that's the actual roadblock?
That's a really interesting thought. Could asking for help actually be strength?
Right. Strategic strength, even.
It's a powerful reframing. Because, we're often pushed towards this like hyper self-reliance ideal.
Totally.
But the most resilient things, nature, society, they're all about connections, interdependence.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, so maybe true success, the kind that lasts, is about embracing that connection.
Absolutely. And today we're doing a deep dive into a really compelling story. It's called David's Dream, The Strength of Asking for Help.
Okay.
And it's not just some simple fable. It feels like a real exploration of overcoming huge obstacles.
Redefining strength itself, maybe.
Exactly. And it shows the surprising power in, community. Human connection.
Sounds fascinating.
So our mission today is to pull out the key insights from David's journey. We want to help you understand how even the biggest dreams, the ones that seem impossible, how they might be realized not just by struggling alone, but through like a deeper grasp of connection and working together.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Collective effort. Gotcha.
Okay, let's unpack this. So we meet David. He's young, just 23.
Right.
A carpenter. Learned the trade from his dad, who's passed away.
Okay, so there's that legacy element.
Yeah, he's in this small village. It's pretty, but life's tough there.
Picturesque but hard. I can picture it.
And his own little workshop. It's literally falling apart. The roof is caving in.
Wow. Okay, so real basic struggles.
Totally. His daily life is just a grind, building chairs, fixing tables, always haggling with customers, trying to pay less.
Oh, yeah, that constant negotiation just to survive.
He barely makes enough for, bread, soup, firewood. It's really basic survival.
It's a tough existence,
Yeah.
fraught with insecurity.
Yeah. And what's striking here is how David's dream, this really big ambition he has.
It just clashes immediately with the harsh reality of his finances.
Exactly. It's that constant pressure.
It's a struggle so many people can relate to, right?
Yeah.
Where your big goals meet the demands of just getting by day to day.
And it's not just about money, is it?
No, it's the mental toll, too, that constant strain.
And despite all this, David dreams really big.
He does. What's the dream?
He envisions having a big furniture store of my own. He imagines people coming from far away just to buy his furniture.
Wow. So quite the vision.
Huge vision. But reality keeps, knocking him back every time
Yeah.
he saves a little.
Something happens.
Yep. A leak in the roof, a tool breaks, his mom gets sick, needs medicine.
Ah, the unexpected expenses. Always.
It's this constant cycle. Progress, then setback, demoralizing.
And I bet others weren't exactly supportive.
You got it. Some villagers actually laugh at him. There's this one farmer who says something like, "David, you can't even afford Goodwood. How are you dreaming of a big store?"
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ah.
The story says those words cut deep. Really stung.
And that external doubt just piles on top of the internal struggle, doesn't it? Especially when your dream feels so far off.
It's like the classic story, isn't it? The lone visionary, facing skepticism and no resources.
But that phase is crucial. It forces him to, dig deep, find resourcefulness.
He learns resilience, yeah. But maybe he also learns the wrong lesson.
How so?
Like he internalizes this idea that he has to do it all himself.
Yeah, the farmer's words kind of reinforce that isolating belief. Your situation defines you, and you got to struggle alone. That's dangerous.
Right, and this is where things get really interesting. He gets a big opportunity, a real test.
Okay, what happens?
An older merchant, Mr. Aziz, wise traveler type. He orders a big dining table.
Big order.
Biggest Dave's ever had. 1 week deadline, good pay. It could be a game changer.
Okay, high stakes.
But then, crisis. 3rd day in, he runs out of wood.
Oh, no.
He goes to the supplier, but winter demand means prices have doubled. He can only afford half of what he needs.
Wow. Okay, hits a wall. What does he do?
Well, his first thought is, I can't ask Mr. Aziz for more money.
Right, that immediate instinct. Internalize the problem. Asking feels like failure.
Yeah, or weakness, maybe. Why do we do that? Is it pride? Fear of judgment?
Probably all of that, isn't it? We feel like we have to have it all figured out.
And it gets worse. He tries borrowing from someone. This guy, Wade just laughs, turns him down flat.
Reinforcing that isolation?
Yeah.
Rough.
So David's thinking about giving up, wondering if the dream is foolish or if he's just greedy. He's at rock bottom.
That internal spiral is so common when things go wrong.
But then, a flicker of hope. He remembers something his mother told him as a kid.
What was it?
David, every big thing starts with a small step. Don't be afraid to start, no matter how hard it gets.
Ah, that's good advice. Simple but powerful.
It's not just a nice saying, right? It's about perseverance.
And it's brilliant because it doesn't give him the answer. It just reignites his own drive,
Yeah.
his agency.
Yeah, like focus on the next step you can take.
Exactly. Not the whole mountain at once. Crucial when things feel overwhelming.
So with this new motivation, he does something. Well, desperate. Really risky.
What is it?
He decides to go to the city. He takes a few small folding chairs he'd made, hoping to sell them there.
Okay. But the risks.
If he doesn't sell them, he won't have money to even get back home.
Whoa. All in.
Totally. He sets up this tiny stall. At first, nothing. People just walk by.
Tense.
But then, around noon, this wealthy lady sees the chairs, loves the craftsmanship, buys them all.
Wow. Breakthrough.
Big time. With that cash, he buys the wood he needs, races back, finishes the table right on time.
Amazing. And Mr. Aziz.
He's thrilled, praises David, says, "You're talented, never give up on your dream."
Okay, so he proved himself. Resourceful, talented.
Absolutely. But he's still doing it all alone, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the key point, right? It's a solitary victory. He bet everything on himself, used sheer effort, took a huge risk.
And it worked this time.
Right.
Yeah.
He showed grit, ingenuity. But it's still just him against the world.
And that kind of success, winning alone against the odds.
It can reinforce the idea that that's the only way. Through personal sacrifice. Admirable, sure, but
but totally unsustainable long term.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can only push yourself like that for so long.
Yeah, definitely unsustainable. So word starts to spread about David's work. Orders come in from nearby towns.
And reputation's growing.
Yeah, and so is his workload. And then the really big one arrives, the opportunity that pushes him way past his limits.
Uh-oh. What is it this time?
A businessman from the city orders 10 dining tables.
10.
10 to be delivered in just 1 month.
1 month. That sounds...
Nearly impossible.
Right.
Tight deadline, need for tons of quality wood, no extra help, tiny workshop.
It's that scaling problem again, but massively amplified. He's being asked to multiply his output without multiplying his resources.
It's a classic small business dilemma, isn't it? How do you grow?
And his ambition is huge, but he's clearly trying to do way more than one person realistically can. It's a recipe for burnout.
So what drives someone to say yes to that?
Well, the large payment probably helps,
Mm-hmm.
but also that ambition, that drive to escape poverty, prove himself.
Yeah. Because despite the odds, David says yes.
Of course he does.
He tries making a plan, thinks maybe, just maybe, if he works nonstop.
But the wood problem again.
Still needs money for the high-quality stuff, and this time, he makes a huge sacrifice.
What is it?
He sells the last thing he has from his father, a gold watch.
Oh, wow. The sentimental value.
Huge.
Huh.
He cries selling it, the story says, but he sees it as a necessary risk, a painful step for the bigger dream.
That's intense. He's literally selling his past for his future.
With the money, he buys the best wood and just dives in. Works day and night, skips meals, barely sleeps.
Oh, man.
Hands cracked, head aching. Villagers see him, they warn him, take a break, you'll get sick.
But he won't listen.
Nope. Driven by this need to prove that I can do this, escape poverty, prove everyone wrong, he just pushes harder.
He's embodying that tragic belief, isn't he?
Yeah.
That suffering is required for success,
Yeah.
sacrificing his health, his connection to his past, all to forge this future alone.
Prioritizing proving himself over his own well-being. It's the definition of being pushed to the brink.
And that kind of self-destruction,
Yeah.
it rarely ends well.
It almost costs him everything. Final week, he's exhausted, broken, and disaster. One of the tables keeps breaking, a flaw in the wood.
No. After all that work.
He's totally spent, just sitting there, head down, defeated. You can just feel the despair.
Awful.
And this is where everything changes. His mother comes into the shop again.
Okay.
But this time, her message is different. It's going to fundamentally shift his whole approach to everything.
What does she say?
She comes up softly, puts a hand on his shoulder, says, "Son, take a rest."
Gentle start.
Yeah. Life isn't just about chasing dreams. You have to take care of yourself, too.
So needed at that moment. How
Yeah.
does he react?
He breaks down, basically, explains through tears, "I just want to prove I can do this. We're going to get out of poverty soon." Talk about earning respect, proving them all wrong. Still focused on doing it alone.
That drive is so powerful, but so isolating. It fuels amazing things, but the cost.
Exactly. And his mother sees that cost.
We often confuse being self-reliant with being totally self-sufficient, don't we? Like needing anyone is a flaw.
Yeah. And what she says next just flips that whole idea.
Go on.
She says, gently but firmly, "You've already proven a lot. Your hard work, your patience. But remember, if your health breaks down, all this success means nothing."
True. So true. Health is foundational.
And then comes the core insight. She says, "If you try to carry all the weight alone, you'll wear yourself out. Life isn't meant to be lived alone."
Wow. Okay.
Arf.
Directly challenging his whole approach.
And then asking for help isn't weakness, it's smart.
It's smart. That reframing is huge. Not weak, but intelligent.
She continues, "If you just ask your friends or neighbors for a little help, they won't say no. In fact, they'll be proud to stand by you."
That's profound. She's shifting strength from just individual muscle to
Yeah.
like the intelligence of using your network.
Right.
Social capital.
Right. Building community. Recognizing that relying on others makes you more resilient, not less.
It's a more sustainable way to live, to work. It completely cuts against that self-made myth. Because nobody really does it all alone, do they?
Never. There's always support somewhere, even if it's hidden.
And she taps into that beautiful idea.
Yeah.
People want to help. They want to be part of something bigger.
Yeah. And those words, the source says, they hit David deep. A real turning point.
So what does he do?
For the very first time, he asks the villagers for help.
Wow. After everything. That must have taken courage.
Huge courage. And the response,
Please tell me they helped.
and they all came forward.
Oh, fantastic. That's really moving.
Isn't it just the willingness of the community once he finally opened up showed that vulnerability?
It transforms his struggle into like a shared project.
Exactly. And his vulnerability wasn't weakness there, was it? It was leadership.
Absolutely. By asking, he wasn't just solving his problem. He invited them into his success, strengthened the whole community. That's real leadership.
And that's what happens. The whole village rallies. It's this powerful shift from him collapsing alone to the community lifting him up.
Collective effort.
Together, they finish all 10 tables.
Amazing. And the businessman.
Extremely happy. Pays David exactly as promised.
Fantastic outcome. But the real win wasn't just the money, was it?
Not at all. The narrative totally shifts here, doesn't it? From one guy's struggle to a community triumph.
It's not just David's dream anymore. It's like the village's dream, realized together.
And that thing he thought was weakness needing help, it turned out to be his greatest strength.
Yeah, it unlocked way more potential, more success than he ever could have managed alone.
Yeah.
It benefited everyone. That's the difference between just hitting a target and building something that lasts.
And the impact on David himself is huge. With the money, he expands the shop, gets new tools,
Good for him.
and he hires some young guys from the village to work with him, creates opportunities.
Paying it forward, completing the circle.
But the source stresses, the biggest thing he gained was the lesson. Achieving a dream needs more than just hard work. Sometimes it takes asking for help. That's how you find balance.
Balance, that's key.
So, for you listening, what does this all mean? David's story, it really shows that sometimes our greatest strength isn't muscling through alone.
Right. It's the courage to reach out, to be vulnerable, to let others help lift the load.
Recognizing that relying on each other isn't a flaw. It's human. And maybe it's a strategic advantage, too.
And it's reciprocal, isn't it? When you let others help, you empower them too. It builds connection.
It's a beautiful reminder, isn't it? Ambition, hard work, totally vital. But knowing your limits, embracing support, that's not weakness.
No, it's strategic, it's human, it leads to more sustainable success.
And probably a richer, more balanced life, too. Understanding that vulnerability can actually be an asset. It opens doors.
It really challenges that whole self-made hero narrative. Maybe the real hero isn't the lone warrior, but the person who builds a community, who inspires people to work towards a shared goal, whose success lifts everyone.
Yeah. Moving from ego-driven wins to community impact, that feels like real strength.
Exactly, lasting strength.
So we invite you, listening now, to think about your own dreams, your challenges, maybe a new project, a career shift, a personal goal.
Where might you be carrying that weight all by yourself? Convinced you have to.
Yeah. Could asking for help, advice, support, an extra pair of hands, could that be the smart move you're overlooking?
Could it unlock something new? Lighten the load in ways you haven't considered?
Crucial questions.
Yeah.
Because think about the really big challenges we face. Climate change, health crises, innovation.
They're all too big for one person. They demand collective effort, shared risk, interdependence.
So it's not just personal efficiency. It's fundamental to tackling big problems.
Maybe the next step in our evolution isn't just individual brilliance, but collective genius. Through consciously relying on each other.
That's a powerful thought. David found balance by asking for help, by sharing the load. But here's a final thought to leave you with.
Good.
What kind of dream, what level of change can only be achieved when we truly allow others in? When success isn't just personal, but a shared journey?
How does our definition of success itself change when it becomes a collective climb, not a solitary one?
Something to ponder until our next deep dive.